Welcome to r/AmITheButthole, where OP causes a girl to wet herself. Am I the butthole for not giving up my room because my half-sister wanted it as a Christmas gift? I'm a 16-year-old girl and I live with my mom and her husband. My mom and dad divorced when I was 2, and she and her husband had another kid, my half-sister who's 14. I visit my dad here and there, but not often due to him traveling a lot for work. Recently I've grown into liking anime and other things, so I asked my mom if I could rearrange my room. It was super plain and depressing at first, so it felt good to add color and lots of decoration, posters, LED lights, and pictures. It took nearly 3 weeks, but it came out super nice, and it's overall made me a lot happier to be in. Last week, my half-sister went into my room while I was visiting my dad to celebrate Christmas early, and she told her dad that she wanted my room because it looked nice. When I came home, my mom told me about her wanting my room, and I said no. She said it would mean a lot to my half-sister, and I could take her room and redecorate that one. I said no again, and that if she really wanted a room like mine, she could decorate it her own self with their help. My mom said that she was just a kid and wouldn't be able to do all the decorations like I did, and it would be simple if I just redecorated the other room. I was angry that my mom would even suggest that I give up my room that I worked so hard for. And I even spent my own money on everything but the paint. Her husband offered to give me money to decorate the other room without spending my money, but I still declined. My mom called me a brat and said I was almost 17 and I should grow up, and that I wouldn't be in this room for more than another 2 years, so it wasn't a big deal if I give it up. Her husband called me selfish and said I was crushing his daughter's feelings, and that was the only thing she wanted for Christmas. His words were, "OP, how could you crush your little sister's dreams and be so selfish?" I get that it's just a room, but I don't think it's right that I have to give up something I worked hard for because she went into my room without my permission. Something they didn't even care to acknowledge. My mom's been trying to convince me to give her the room, and I said that if she takes my room, then I'll remove all the decorations. She's been mad at me for nearly 3 days now, and I feel like an awful person to letting it get to this extent. Am I the butthole? What am I reading? What kind of screwed up parent says, "Okay, big sister, give your whole room over to your younger sister because she wants it"? If little sister wants a room like big sister, the solution isn't to just give her the room. It's to work together as a family to help build a room like that for the little sister. The parents could have come to OP and said, "OP, your little sister really loves your room. Would you be willing to help us and little sister make a room similar to yours? You won't have to spend any of your money, but this could be a fun family activity." That's what your parents should have done, not try and strong arm and guilt trip you into giving over your room. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. Your younger sister gets maybe 1 out of 5 buttholes because she's still being a little bit bratty. Your parents get 4 out of 5 buttholes. Parents who play favoritism among their kids are disgusting. Luckily though, we have a happy ending. OP adds this in an edit. "Hey, I just want to let you know that I did it. I moved in with my dad, and I took every last decoration down. The only thing that stayed was the painted walls." My mom wasn't happy. She kind of blamed me for everything. She said I was overreacting over a room, and by me leaving I was being a child. Thank you to the kind Redditors who messaged me and have kept in touch, since you guys are the reasons I had the courage to stand up for myself for once. My dad is a freaking amazing guy, and he let me decorate my room with a lot more decorations. Words can't explain how thankful I am to all of you. You guys are awesome. Am I the butthole for giving away my grandparents' gift that was intended for my fiancé? Every year, my grandparents give $300 to their single grandkids and $500 to their married grandkids, along with a note that says to share with their spouse. When opening up our gifts this year, I noticed my cousin, who had recently married his gay boyfriend, only received $300, while my fiancé and I received $500. I handed $200 bills from my envelope to my cousin in front of everyone, which caused quite the scene. My family is very religious and refuses to accept gay marriage as legitimate. They refuse to acknowledge his husband as a member of our family and tell him he's going to hell unless he changes his lifestyle. I defended my decision saying, "We're not married yet and they are. I think there's been a mistake." Conversations quickly devolved, resulting in both my cousin and I leaving shortly after. My family says it wasn't my money to give, and my actions disrespected both my grandparents and my fiancé. My fiancé feels that my family was welcoming her, and I rejected her in front of everyone. Am I the butthole? So I think this one is a little bit nuanced. Everyone's saying is that you're not the butthole, and for the most part, yes, I agree. Your grandparents are being super bigoted and are being really mean to your gay cousin's husband. Also, I really do appreciate that you stood up for your cousin. Though, that being said, I can definitely understand why your fiancé would be upset by this. Your wife wants to be accepted by your family just like your gay cousin's husband. So when you handed your cousin that $200, then yeah, you were implicitly insulting your fiancé. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I agree with what you did, but not how you did it. The ideal situation would have been standing up for your cousin without insulting your fiancé. I'll give your grandparents and their supporters 3 out of 5 buttholes. I'll give your cousin and his husband 0 out of 5 buttholes. You, OP, I think I have to give you like 0.5 out of 5 buttholes because I can understand how you really embarrassed your fiancé in that situation. Man, this is really a sticky situation because I think I also have to give the wife like 0.5 out of 5 buttholes. I mean, I definitely understand that she wanted to be accepted by the family, but I think what she should have done was taken a step back and realize, okay, there's some complicated family dynamics going on here, and it's not really my place to get involved yet. This is between my fiancé, his grandparents, and his cousins, so I should understand that this isn't an insult against me. So I guess the ideal situation for her would have been that she would have backed up her man for doing the right thing, but I guess that didn't happen. Am I the butthole for locking my roommate's girlfriend out of my room and bathroom? I'm a 21-year-old guy, and I share an apartment with another guy named John, who's 22. John started bringing his girlfriend Macy around a couple of months ago, which I didn't have a problem with. She'd just stay here a couple of nights a week. The problem started happening over a month ago. Macy came to my room and asked if she could use my bathroom because John's is an effing mess. I've been in there before, and I agree, he never cleans it. His tub is stained and full of hairs, and there's streaks of piss on the toilet seat. It smells awful, and it looks as bad as a men's restroom in a public park. I kinda wish I never let her. After that, whenever she was there, she'd ask if she could use my bathroom or straight up just go when I wasn't there. How did I know? I started noticing toilet paper balled up in my trash bin. My ex used to do this too when she would change her tampons, so I knew right away. Then she would literally use my shower when I wasn't there because I also started finding these long hairs stuck on my shower tiles. Not only that, I work night shifts, so until late afternoon I'm sleeping in my room. She would wake me up to ask if she could use the bathroom. After I started saying no, she just started sneaking in. I'm a heavy sleeper, but a couple of times I did catch her, and she apologized, but it's because she can't stand using John's bathroom. I'd tell her to tell him to clean the bathroom and then problem solved, but she says he promises he will, then never does. I'm already irritated with this, and I don't want her continuing to use my bathroom. So I went and got a lock for my room. That was a few days ago, and now John is pissed with me. It turns out that while I was sleeping, she kept knocking on my door trying to get in, but the lock kept her out. Anyway, she had to pee really badly, and John was already using his bathroom, and, well, she wet herself. So yeah, I guess she was banging on my door and I couldn't hear it because I was knocked out and I had my headphones on. She ended up having a small accident because she couldn't hold it any longer. Because of that, she got mad at John and now he's mad at me. I told him why I got the lock, and I don't want his girl coming into my room whenever she wants to use the bathroom. It's weird, and she leaves her own mess too. They still think I was being a dick for getting a lock in the first place, and they don't think it's such a big deal for her to use the bathroom because it's not like she's snooping in my room. I mean, I don't know, sometimes I'm not there. Also, according to him, I'm being dramatic to go through all that trouble. Macy is giving me the side eye whenever she's there now and says I didn't have to be like that with her. So yeah, I didn't mean for her to have that accident. I don't think I was overdoing it by getting a lock when I kinda feel like I didn't have another option. I wasn't the butthole here though, was I? Because they sure as hell are acting like I am. OP, what your roommate and his girlfriend was doing was a pretty significant breach of privacy. Also, the fact that she would wake you up to use your bathroom is really disrespectful. They both sound entitled and rude. They have their own bathroom they can use. I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your roommate and his girlfriend 2 out of 5 buttholes each. Am I the butthole for asking the doctor how to increase chances of having a boy next time? I found out today during an ultrasound that my wife is pregnant with twin girls. I wasn't mad, but I was let down because we already have 2 daughters and I said, come on. It was an accident. I only meant to say it in my head, but I guess I was so frustrated it came out of my mouth and I said it out loud. But it was fine because everyone laughed. I asked the doctor how I could increase the chances of having a boy next time, and he recommended something called the Shettles method, but he said it wasn't guaranteed and I thanked him. Everyone was happy and laughing, everything was fine. As soon as we get into the car, my wife turns into a whole different person and stops smiling and being happy. I can't remember her exact words, but I knew she was upset about the question I asked. I told her that I love our daughters, but I just wanted a boy and there was nothing wrong with that. She hasn't spoken to me in a few hours. I don't really see what the problem is. I don't want too many replies, please, just like 10. If you read this and see that there's 10 comments already, please just don't add another one. Thank you. Edit. Okay, we passed 10. You can stop now. Thank you. Edit. You guys aren't listening. There's already more than 10. And in case you're curious, this thread has 7,464 comments. Down in the comments, I'm going to agree with CatMac14. You're the butthole. Your wife is pregnant with 2 children. She hasn't even had them yet. She's still making them. And you've already moved on to asking about how to make sure the next one she carries is a boy? You should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, I agree, OP. Your wife is literally in the process of growing 2 of your own children inside of her. And your response to that news was basically like, ugh, more girls? When can we have a boy already? It's very disrespectful to your wife, your current daughters, and your unborn daughters. So sorry, OP, you kind of sound like the butthole in this situation. I'm giving you, let's say, 1.5 out of 5 buttholes. Also, the way that you were so bossy with the number of comments that we were allowed to post on your thread makes me think that you're actually way worse than you're making it sound. But that's just speculation. I don't want to give you a higher rating based on speculation, so why don't we just say this, OP? How about we try to tone down the douchiness, okay? Am I the butthole for kicking my girlfriend out of my place on New Year's Eve for scaring my little brother? We can all agree that 2020 was a terrible year, particularly for my family. We lost our dad at the beginning of the year after he had a heart attack, and my 12-year-old little brother had no one to take care of him. Our mom died when he was 3, so our dad was all he had left. I'm a 29-year-old male, and I fought for his custody and was appointed his legal guardian. Honestly, it hasn't been easy. We're still adjusting to these life changes, and my brother is taking it the hardest. For months, he just wasn't himself. He had a bad attitude and he was lashing out. I got him into therapy because I knew he was just hurting, plus the stress of the pandemic. His behavior has improved so much since then, even if sometimes there's days when he's withdrawn. Days before Christmas, he was feeling sad since it was our first holiday without Dad. That day, he asked to be left alone. We had a talk to discuss his feelings, and I gave him space after that. My girlfriend was over that day and I went out to buy groceries. When I got back, my brother was out of his room and helping out. I didn't think anything of it at the time. Yesterday, my brother and I were having some guy time before going back home to get ready for New Year's Eve. My brother opened up about how grateful he is for everything, and he hopes that I don't change my mind about taking care of him. I asked him why he'd think that, and he told me what happened. That day when I was out, my girlfriend went to my brother's room to tell him that he needs to change his attitude and stop moping, because he should be grateful that I'm taking care of him at all, and that we could still hand him over to the state if we wanted to. I was furious, and I had to reassure my brother that this was never going to happen because he was really worried about it. We went home, I confronted my girlfriend, and she didn't deny it. She told me it's true, and there was nothing wrong with telling him to stop acting like that when he should be grateful that I gave up my life to take care of him. And she said the part about me giving him up wasn't that big of a deal to her because it's not like I'll actually do it. I said she still scared him with the threat, and I told her to leave my apartment because, honestly, I was too far mad and because I didn't want her to be near him right now. She started crying and there was more fighting, but she left in the end. It was just me and my brother for New Year's. Since last night, I've been bombarded with calls from all her friends for kicking her out knowing that she has no family and nobody else to spend the holidays with. Everyone sided with her, and even my best friend says I may have overreacted by making her leave when she probably thought that she was helping. They've heard my side of the story, but they still think that I was the butthole for making her cry and spending the New Year's alone. I'm having trouble seeing how I could be the butthole here, so I'm looking to internet strangers to weigh in on this. Let's see. It's okay for her to threaten your little brother without your knowledge or consent that he will be kicked out of the home and have no family for the holidays, but it's not okay to kick her out for the holidays. I think the word you're looking for is effing hypocrite. Telling a 12-year-old boy that you're going to give him away if he doesn't stop crying is like something you'd expect a Disney evil stepmother to say. OP, it's time for a new girlfriend and some new friends while you're at it. They are all completely wrong, and I don't even understand how they think that you're the butthole here. Your girlfriend way overstepped the line, and what she said to your little brother was just straight up nasty. My guess, and admittedly this is just a guess here, but my guess is that your girlfriend secretly resents your little brother because without him, you'd be free and untethered and able to do whatever she wants. OP, please see this as the red flag behavior that it is. That was r/malicious compliance, and this is r/puppy bloopers. If little sister wants a room just like big sister, the solution... You go. If little sister wants a room like big sister, the solution isn't to just give her the room. Dog. If little sister wants a... You go. If little sister wants a room like...